Hello everybody out there and welcome back to another Fear the Walking Dead episode review. This is episode 5, Cobalt. Warning in advance, spoilers are coming your way. If you have not watched the episode yet, take this video, stick it in your watch later pile, go check the episode out, and then come back to this review. Overview really quickly. It was a long night, I apologize. Overview really quickly. Shit got bad fast. And characters took twists that really went down dark corners of the world. It was a really interesting episode from start to finish, and I'm really excited to see how this is all going to end. But a lot of characters, like I said, took a bit of a darker turn in this episode. And yes, we did get our first death of all the main characters. Now, from this point on, it will be spoiler heavy. So again, I state, if you have not watched the episode yet and don't want spoilers, I would advise waiting till after you watch the episode. Come back. It's on AMC.com right now. If you have your cable provider or whatever provider and you put in your code, you can watch AMC all you want on the internet. I personally tried it. It didn't work, so screw the dang internet and there. Put your thing in and it'll get through, because it didn't work for me. Anyway, alright. Episode opens up where Travis, we're left off of what happened at the end of the last episode, where now Travis wants to go see Liza. He wants to find Nick, and he wants to bring Nick back and Liza back. And the army is just, it's getting darker and darker, and we start hearing the word Cobalt. What does that mean? We find out at the end of the episode exactly what that means, and it's definitely going to play a huge role in the last episode of the series, which is next week. So, the daughter, whose name completely leaves me at the moment, is with the boyfriend who's part of the army. And the father and her kidnap him, or imprison him, and the father actually goes as far as to torture the man to find out the secrets of the army, because he does not trust it at all. He believes that there's some type of ulterior motive with the armies going on. All this time, Madison finds out, and she basically just turns the other cheek. So we got a lot of characters. Daniel and Madison really go down a very dark turn here. There's a scene with Ashley and Chris. I feel like they just threw that in there to keep them in an episode. Lisa is working with the doctor, whom I know she's not a bad guy, but I still hate her guts for some reason. She just gives off that personality that you just want to take your hand and you just want to slap. But anyway, anybody who's really sick or bitten, automatic execution for them in the hospital. Nick is in a cell. We actually get to see the father from the last episode that went missing. There was this guy in there bartering the guy out. He basically brought the guy to the end, and he kind of flipped out, and they escorted him to a different cell. But Nick ended up in the same cell with this guy. And later on in the episode, Nick has a fever because he's having withdrawal from not having any drugs. And the guy actually, spoiler, even though I said there were spoilers already, he trades away his cuffs to keep Nick in the cell with him, and there's a reason for that, and we find out at the very end of the episode as well. Travis goes out into the field. The field marshal, because Travis kind of makes a threat without making a threat, so the field marshal's like, okay, we'll take you to the facility, you come with us. And it turns out, the first time around, they do encounter a zombie, and he's like, you know what, you think we're the bad guys? Go ahead and go shoot the zombie. And he can't do it. But then they get a distress call, and again, the words Cobalt are starting to pop up everywhere. And they go in to assist other soldiers. Bad stuff happens. Travis never makes it to the hospital. He ends up getting driven back because basically you can see the army is failing epically, even though they're the bad guys, and everybody's haul-assing wherever they live. They're going home to protect and save their families because things aren't getting better. They are getting a million times worse. And we get to see that. We get to see our first zombie horde. Well, not see it per se, we get to hear it. And we find out what Cobalt means at the end of the episode. It basically means for the army to withdraw. But before they withdraw, they basically execute all of the civilians in their respective sectors. And at 9 in the morning the following day, all of the people in the community are going to be killed. And then the army is leaving and pulling back because apparently, I guess, California or where they're living, because it is California where they're living, can't be saved, or their sector can't be saved. So they're pulling back and leaving, but they're making sure to kill all the civilians so basically nobody can get infected. Spoiler alert here, the person who dies in this episode is Mama Salazar. The injury to her foot was too severe. She got really sick, and unfortunately she died soon after the operation. And Lisa takes a very dark turn here because the other doctor explains if we don't shoot them in the head, regardless of if they're infected or not, they somehow come back. And she takes the gun, and I thought she wasn't going to be able to do it, but she basically shoots the woman in the head herself. And while I know it's not a dark turn per se, I feel like all that's going on around all the characters, finally they're getting this darker turn. And when Travis comes home and he sees that Madison and Daniel, what they're doing to the soldier, he's like, what the hell are you guys doing? And then when the soldier explains what Cobalt is, that's where they're starting to say, okay, damn, there's some really bad stuff that's about to happen. What do we do next? And Daniel Salazar, the soldier, tells him another story about a, oh God, it was a stadium. And Daniel goes to investigate the stadium, and let's just say inside the stadium, there are a lot of undead. A lot. And it kind of leaves off there. And then, of course, we get the trailer for the next episode. This episode was action-packed. This episode really, you just see at this point, the world is basically getting shot to hell. There's very little to nothing left to do. The zombies are taking over. The army can't hold them back. Dead are coming back to life regardless. And it's basically the end of the world. The next episode, which is next week, I have something special. I have something special in mind. I don't want to state it now because if I can't do it for some reason, I don't want to overhype it. But I do have something special in mind for the season finale of Fear the Walking Dead. And then the following weekend, we're getting The Walking Dead Season 6. So if you guys are saying, okay, well, next week's the end, no, you stay right there because we're going to get the main series, The Walking Dead, coming back. And I believe Fear the Walking Dead returns next year around the same time that it showed up this year, unless they get more episodes. I definitely do see the potential now with the characters that are surviving. Basically, they'll just be continuing in the universe of The Walking Dead now. They'll basically be in the same timeline as Rick, maybe a couple... I mean, they can even jump forward, and Rick and his people have their story, and Fear the Walking Dead has their people and their story. And it's definitely shaping into something really great. I'm excited for the finale. There's a lot going on. I don't know if we're going to be seeing any more deaths, but I can 100% say by the end of the next episode, the world is basically going to be gone. It's going to be at the point where the zombies have basically started taking over the entire globe. Out of all the episodes so far, though, this episode and last episode were really good, but this episode, I believe, is the strongest, and that's kind of ironic because we are officially at the second to last episode of the series. If you haven't watched Fear the Walking Dead, you can go on AMC.com. Like I said, if you have your cable attached to your internet somehow, or you're able to log into your cable, which I can't do for some weird reason, I've tried it a million different ways, and you've been missing out on Fear the Walking Dead, you can check it out there. I'm sure you can find it on the internet somewhere. This is a really good series. It started off very, very weak. The first episode alone really left me questioning the series. It has superbly gotten better over the past couple of issues. And it's sad to see it go now because it's finally hit that peak where I feel like the series is getting very strong. And now, unfortunately, we're getting the end. So, I am glad it's coming back for another season. Hopefully things will get better with the next season, though, now that we got all the characters introduced. We saw the world before the end. Now we're past the Armageddon coming and we can move forward. All in all, Cobalt was a really awesome episode. I'm excited for next week, which is the grand finale of Season 1. It was a short season, but it was a really, it definitely picked up the second half of the season. and definitely something I would definitely say to check out. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this episode of Fear the Walking Dead, or Fear the Walking Dead in general. Are you ready for Walking Dead in another 2 weeks? Personally, Fear the Walking Dead, I heard that out there. That was our mother, who actually does love The Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead definitely has me ready and excited for Season 6 of The Walking Dead, even though I missed the past 2 seasons, and I really should catch up on that before watching Season 6. I'm really excited for Season 6 of Walking Dead. This definitely pumps me up for it, like I was saying. And what do you guys think? What do you guys, are you happy that there'll be a second season for Fear the Walking Dead? Do you think that it was a bit premature? Do you think this should have ended with the 6th episode and that's it? Or do these characters have promise for the next season? Are we gonna get? Do you think we should get new characters for the next season? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, bunch of links connected to stuff with this channel right here, Dark Avenger C86, ComicFrontline.com, Zone4Podcast.com. Between the 3 of our channels, new stuff uploaded daily. You always have something new to come back for each and every day. And with that, that's it for this review, guys. Take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and I'll see you guys really soon in the next video.